This is fucking terrible, but it's my fault, and I apologize.
What the hell? We have to sing it.
Guys, I just have to apologize. This is absolutely my fault. I decided to go to Europe for 4 days. This is what happens when you film across the country.
Across the world, buddy. How's fucking Barcelona?
Barcelona's fucking dope.
Could you just correct me on the
I've been drunk pretty much the whole time.
Could you pronounce it again?
Barcelona?
I heard everyone laughing in the background.
It's cool. It's a lot of wine, a lot of tapas.
Are you drunk now?
Yeah, for sure.
Got it.
It's also the time difference.
What time is it?
Night.
She just goes, night.
No. It's cool. Everyone here is super nice, but the wine is really good, and it's fucking beautiful. It's actually bullshit how beautiful it is here. Like, I don't believe it. It's ridiculous. And, oh, God, the people are gorgeous. We should leave America. We should move to Barcelona.
Let's do it. Yeah, I still have to get a passport.
Oh, fuck. How are you 28 and you don't have a passport?
Poor, Kelsey, because poor people don't have passports. Where the fuck am I going?
I did lose my credit card and ID. I did. It's fine.
You still have your passport.
Yeah, I still have my passport, so it's fine.
Luckily,
Enough
you can do
about
like
me.
Apple Pay or something. Yeah, let's get on, because we sound terrible.
Yeah, we do. So people wanted to know, the question was, what are we watching and reading? Do you have any recs about what you are watching and reading right now?
I am starting Corporate, this show called Corporate on Comedy Central.
What?
That's what I'm watching.
Oh, okay. It just sounded so official and I didn't believe you.
I'm starting Corporate in December. No, I'm watching a show called Corporate. It's really funny. I just rewatched The Office for like the 1000th time. Reading, I ordered Their Eyes Were Watching God. I haven't read that yet. I didn't read like anything in high school. I just lied to get out of all of the assignments. Or just like did like Spark Notes or something like that. So I just got Their Eyes Were Watching God. So I'm gonna read that.
Yeah.
And
I feel like we excused that shit in high school because I was high the entire time I was in high school, so I don't remember anything. But I remember reading Hatchet like 3 times.
Oh.
You didn't read the Hatchet?
God, no. I didn't read anything.
You know what they're not teaching us about in high school? Shit that fucking matters.
True.
Like sex and taxes and cooking. Honestly, even fucking basic ass cooking shit.
Yeah. There should
That's
be
just
like
my
a
complaint.
class called like Repercussions. Like a hypothetical life, and then you choose this, and then it shows what will actually happen to you if you go down this path. Oh, you don't want to pay your car insurance for a couple months? Here's what happens.
We should start teaching. No, we shouldn't. No one would trust us. They should. Speaking of not knowing about sex in high school, I want to bring in our next guest. She is maybe like one of the only feminist porn directors. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce our guest this week, Erika Lust. This is Erika. Can you see her?
Hello.
Hi, Erika.
So she's in Barcelona.
I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
So you're fucking, what you do is crazy to Americans, but I think in Europe what you do is pretty fucking dope. Can you explain a little bit about who you are, what you do, what's your vibe?
Well, I started to make films around 14 years ago. 2004, I made my first short film. It was called The Good Girl, and it was a short film showing explicit
Wait, The Good
sex.
Girl?
The Good Girl.
Why did you choose that title?
Because I felt like I was a good girl,
Okay.
and then I kind of turned.
And
So it had to do with that kind of good girl fantasy and what I really wanted.
Okay.
And this was a film showing explicit sex, but from my point
what's
of view,
explicit sex?
it's that you see everything. You see that the sex is really happening.
You show penetrative sex.
Exactly. And oral sex and whatever kind of sex you want to show. And what happened was that I had, of course, watched porn before, as so many people growing up, wanting to learn about sex and going to porn to find out how it is actually done. But I had always felt a little disappointed when it came to, because it felt like porn was so much about the men and about their sexuality, and it had and it's like the women were only used somehow to satisfy them, but it
Some
wasn't
would say
really
that that's
about
all women
our
are
pleasure.
for.
Obviously not.
Believe that. Women matter. Can you believe it?
Our pleasure matters. Women's pleasure matter, of course.
So that was your first film.
That was my first film, and that was my first thought, and then it kind of. I sent the film to a few festivals, I started to win prizes, and I put it up online. And a few weeks after that, suddenly I had 2 million of downloads, and I couldn't believe it. And I went like, what? What happened here? This was just kind of an experimental film that I have done. And people wanted more, and they wrote to me and they were like, Erika, please make more. We want to see more of this kind of indie adult style film.
Mm-hmm. So what was different? Like, how did you watch porn, and what did you do differently as a filmmaker that would like make people want to watch? Especially, do you have like a larger female audience, or what did you do differently?
Well, I guess I've kind of done everything different from the beginning to the end. It's like, you know, sometimes I say it's like going to a McDonald's or a fast food restaurant, or going to a small little family restaurant. It's like everything is different, from the kind of ingredients that you put in the food, or the style that you want to show in your films. You know, when I make a film, I care about all the details. I care about the cast, obviously, who I'm choosing. I try to choose people that shows society as diverse as it is, actually, because I'm very fed up with the mainstream porn and the way they only show very young, slim girls, and it's like they all look like teenagers, like they just turned 18. And I want to see real people.
You want to see real people, and I feel like that makes you more involved in the experience. Like when you, the same way that it's like if you see yourself involved in film and television and movies, you can identify with it harder. The same way that like if you see yourself in porn, maybe it's easier to get off.
Representation, it's
matters.
as easy as that, really. And then it's also about how you produce the films, about the values you have behind. And I have a crew of women, basically. Most of the people working in my company here in Barcelona and that are working on my film crew, they are women. You know, the director of photography, the sound designer, the art director, the assistant director, you know, the whole crew. And that's power. That's cool.
That's
and
awesome.
I see that the actresses, they feel so much more, you know,
comfortable.
Like, they're in a place where they know that their words matter. They can, you know, feel comfortable.
Exactly.
I have a question about the actors that you get, actors and actresses that you get for this. How are they people who are already into like that are already in?
Do you go out on the street?
Yeah, because like I know that some people are like, would you do like a nude scene or something like that? Like I don't know if there is, because it sounds kind of like you're creating almost a new genre.
Absolutely.
I used to call it indie adult because that's really what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to do something different from like the basic idea we have of porn. I think that so many people have all this kind of dirty, nasty connotation.
Right, and it's like, oh, this girl gets fucked, or this guy, like, this girl learns why those big tits are a thing.
There's a lot of what I call punish fucking women in mainstream porn. You know, it's not even about having a good time together or having pleasure together. They just kind of smash up the bitch against the wall and kind of, rah, here, she's gonna have it. And
that's fine if that's what you're into.
If that's what you want,
absolutely.
That can be okay, definitely.
But that shouldn't be 90% of what you find online.
Sex is so much more. Sex is really feeling
it's
wonderful and
it's
great and
mental.
Connecting with people and having
I want to watch your films.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we should talk about this because while we have Erika here, it would be weird if we didn't bring it up that Kate has never had an orgasm.
That's okay. This happens a lot. It happens a lot, and it happens for so many women. And I get so many emails from especially young women saying that they think that something is wrong with them and their bodies because they can't feel it. And then when you start talking to them, really, most of them have seen so much mainstream porn. And what happens in mainstream porn? Well, you know, women normally, or these actresses, they come from penetration. Boom, boom, boom.
And that's not true.
And it's not true, because most women needs to use their hands to feel themselves, and they need time for themselves. And many women use toys, obviously, to get to, you know, to learn how your own body works. And I mean, that's totally the best recommendation.
I don't want to speak for you, but it's a lot of shame too. Like, feeling good is shameful to women in America, at least. That, like, to own your body.
Not only in America.
Yeah, fair. But, like, I can only speak to our experiences, is that it feels shameful and it feels wrong to want to feel good, and to get to that point of, like, coming or orgasming, it feels wrong. And so I think a lot of people go so far in their life feeling like they're doing as much as they can, but then to actually do it.
But I also think that a lot of people kind of wait for someone to make it happen for them.
No, I mean, I'm not. It's more psychological than anything else. It's more the idea of pleasure and shame, but not just pleasure. Like, it's not specifically like sexual. It's just any sort of pleasure, and this feeling of like worthlessness and shame. And I mean, it's more than just. It's more than just stuff about, like, it's more than just coming. It's more than just that. It's everything. I don't have a favorite color. I don't know the stuff that I like. I don't have favorite things. I don't know what I like. That's something that's why when everyone's like, oh, it's about this, you just haven't seen the right this or done the right that, that's not necessarily my situation.
Because I always be like, okay, watch porn, watch this porn, watch, like, amateur porn, watch porn that's, like, made for women by women. And it's, like, it's more psychological than that, I think.
If you just have this trait, if you already have this trait, right, which is like, oh, I'm not going to indulge in anything that I actually like, then the problem is the feeling of wanting to indulge in things and following what feels good, right? And that's that's one problem that is not mutually exclusive to just one area of your life. That bleeds into everything. So I think a lot of times, and I end up getting, like, super defensive about it, because when people are like, oh, maybe you should try it like this or try it like that, and it's like, and I know that it's hard for people to understand. I feel like a lot of times people are sort of like, they want to help, and I know that that's like the, you know, overall what people, they're like, oh, but you're living without this great thing. It's like, I know, I am going to therapy and, like, trying to work all that sort of stuff out, but I think that it speaks to a much larger group of women who don't follow their good feelings, which is interesting, which is why I'm so interested to talk to you about the type of movies that you make, because it's like you saw one area where it wasn't a representation of women going after what they want, and there's a lot of shame, specifically even in porn. I remember, like, my friends didn't even say that they watched porn until, like, we were really drunk, like, in college or something. But, like, guys were always like, let's go, let's be 12 years old and go watch porn. So, like, I think that I'm sort of a personification of a culture. Like, I'm still, I'm the result of this type of shame and stigma and whatnot, and I think a lot of women are, so I think it's really interesting to talk to someone who...
But it is very interesting, and it starts at a very early age for so many women, because we are slut-shamed since we are really young girls. You know, it starts when we start touching ourselves, and our parents, our mothers especially, start telling us, don't do that, don't touch yourself.
My mom told me my vagina was gonna fall off. I was like 5. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was watching Titanic, and I just started masturbating. I didn't even know what it was. And she came in my room and was like, don't do that. And then, like, when I became a teenager, she was like, oh, do whatever you gotta fucking do to release these hormones because you're a very angry teenager. But as a kid, it was like shamed upon.
And I think it starts there for a lot of women, because for guys, it's not that way. You know, they're touching themselves and it's like, it's cute, it's his little dick, and he's touching it, you know, and nobody is like, they are not telling them not to do it. And it would be so much better if parents just could say, you know, maybe you shouldn't do that in the living room, go to your own room and, you know, do that in your bed, or, you know, it's nice. And helping kids saying, it is nice to touch yourself. It feels good, you know.
And it's not wrong.
And then when it keeps coming, you know, then suddenly you start developing a body and breast and everything, and they start looking at you and laughing at you and commenting. And then if you're a girl who wants to have sex and who are starting to have sex, then you're a slut and you're a whore and you are horrible. And all these things, they do get into our head. And I do think that they distract us from getting to know our own pleasure and what we want
and
ourselves.
Right?
Yes.
Like what we see on porn is supposed to be what makes you come. And it's not always true. Like we even joked about it, but like reading fan fiction or whatever, that's the fetish, right? Like fetishizing or whatever is it's a thing. Because it's a thing. We shouldn't feel wrong. We shouldn't feel punished, and we shouldn't feel bad because you like something that isn't normal, or because you like something that's not seen in mainstream porn. And I feel like we see a very specific agenda, not to sound like a fucking feminazi, but like it's very male driven. It's very point of view. It's very dude
even,
comes.
Even that though,
it's
even
obvious.
that like saying like feminazi, like I know that was just like, some people could be radical in any way that they think, but to compare someone who's just like,
trying to
want
come.
equal rights to a fucking Nazi, that's insane.
Yeah, like I just want to fucking come and you're going to compare me to a Nazi.
And I feel like that idea of like, I think women, I don't know how it is in Barcelona, like I don't know if it's a little bit different. I know my own experience was also like, women are supposed to like certain things. So you're supposed to put up with a lot of bullshit because that's what nice girls do. You're supposed to not think about sex because that's not what nice girls do. You're supposed to only like eat like a bird. You're not supposed to enjoy food because God forbid you gain weight. And those, to me, I think probably the two best things in the world are probably food and sex, right?
Isn't that what makes the fucking world go round?
So like,
of course, those are the two things we need as a human race to survive.
Yeah.
It's sex, so we can become more, and it's eating.
And I think that is so. For me, I personally processed all of those limitations very personally. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm not supposed to have sex, and I'm not supposed to eat what I want to eat. And then there came an eating disorder, and then there came this sexual problem. But it's so interesting to now talk to people who are like, it doesn't have to be this way.
And doing the podcast too, like we've gotten so many messages realizing that that's not an insane thing to have gone through. Like, it's not that crazy to have not come before you're 30. Like,
of course, you're talking about, I think that it's 30% of women, or it's huge numbers, you know.
Or like you think you've come.
And there's a lot of pressure there also. There's a lot of like orgasm pressure, and I even see it, you know, when I shoot my films, because people are always asking me, but do they really come? You know, do they come in your films? And I always say, it's like in real life. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you think they did, and sometimes they didn't.
It's crazy.
Sometimes you look at them and you say, I don't know if she really...
Can you tell if someone's faking it?
Well,
do they tell you?
I'm starting to get better at it because I've seen it so many times, so I can see it in like the small things, you know, the redness and the eyes and, you know, the respiration and how they breathe and, you know, this kind of things. But in the end, I mean, with a woman, you can never ever really know. It's not like with a guy. There's, you know, it's obvious. There's so many few times there's an ejaculation, right?
How do you feel about female ejaculation?
Well, I do definitely believe in it.
Good.
I think it's. I've seen it.
Same.
I've been around, but I haven't really experienced it myself.
Cool. So tell us a little bit more about what you are doing to change the norm, because I feel like so much shit that you have done is already super revolutionary, and all the awards you're doing, and like what else do you want to do?
What else do I want to do? Well, I've started a little more than a year ago with a new project because I have been working for the last 4 years on a project called XConfessions, and it's a super great website actually, where people from all around the world are sending in their fantasies and their adventures and their sex stories, and I pick 2 every month and I make short films out of them.
What?
Yes. And I have already made 100 short films.
100?
Yes, and I can't do it myself any longer. So a year ago, I invited other female filmmakers to join me in this project and start making films with different perspectives and different ideas.
Cool.
Kate's a writer. I'm not saying that you should, but you should fucking write some shit in.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
No, but of course, because what are we going to do? We're going to sit around and wait for the men to change the industry?
No, we do that every day already.
The adult industry, you know how it is. It's run by men. Men are the producers, the directors. They are the ones, the business owners. They are the ones owning the money there. And women, I think that we can't leave porn behind, because I think it's way too important, because it's really a discourse that talks about sexuality and about sexual behavior and how we interact. And I want that to show, a more human sexuality than it's doing today, because it's these men, and it's modern. A small group of men, really. They are very alike, even if they are from Los Angeles or Barcelona or Budapest, it's the same kind of man. And he's doing the same kind of film. And because it's his way of looking at sexuality and what's sexy. And my concept is completely different. And I think that women need to get involved, and they need to, to start telling the way we are living our sexuality in our female bodies, and what we like and what we don't like.
Girl, I know, right?
My favorite person.
Dude, I love her. She's so. And I wish you could be here, Kate, because like this office, it's all fucking women. It's totally. It feels so like just feminine as fuck, but also like really sexy, and it's all run by women. It makes me feel really good, and I wish you were here. But should we answer
I'll move to Barcelona.
Should we do our question?
Let's do it.
Guys, we're gonna actually do something.
Of question.
Yeah, we're doing something a little different. Normally we read a fan question, but we're gonna read a live question instead by someone who is in this room. We don't have to say his name, and I feel like the 3 perspectives that we have here are so ridiculously vital and important that I think we could probably solve his or her problem. Hey, person that is not gonna be in the video. Okay. So, our anonymous live questionee, what is the word?
What was the question that I'm asking?
About your porn addiction?
Oh, the problem, it's not okay, that's a strong word. So, I've been single for about 2, maybe 3 years now.
Okay.
Dating apps, whatever, I do okay. I have a job that I'm fortunate enough, I get to travel a lot. I'm in situations where there are a lot of girls all the time. So, meeting people, meeting new girls, it's not an issue. The past 6 months, when I hook up with a new girl for the first time, I struggle to get it up.
Because?
And it's only with a new girl. If I'm with a girl that I've slept with before, or hooked up with before, it's not an issue. No, I'm serious, don't laugh at me. So I'm trying a new thing now where I'm going to stop watching porn. Because I think
porn is the problem.
That it's a desensitization thing. I don't have like a crazy porn addiction. Like, yeah, sure, I watch porn once every day, once every 2 days, something like that. I like it after the gym, after I boxed, calm down a little bit, whatever. But
so you're not able to satisfy yourself or other chicks because you think you're desensitized.
I think I'm desensitized
to sex.
Right.
Because you've been watching
porn, since I was obviously 13 or 14, like every other dude in the U.S.
I don't know who should take this first, because like I feel like we're all gonna have different answers. I feel like Erika, you should go first.
So and I know it's not a physical thing because I still wake up in the morning with morning wood, and like I said, it's
when's the last time you like came with someone?
The other night.
So it's with someone that you had a connection with.
With other girls that I've been seeing for a longer period of time. That's a thing that happens.
But so like one night stands, you're not able to get it off because
it's very different.
But in the beginning, then it gets better after a while.
Yes.
If you kind of kiss around and you fool around for a while,
might be a mental thing.
Yeah, I needed to get like more intense. Whereas with a girl that I've been seeing for a little bit, it's immediate.
Right.
I can get it up immediately.
You feel comfortable with her because you know her.
But I still think it's a desensitization thing.
So you're giving up porn for the next 3 months.
I'm going to give it up for a month and see what happens.
A month?
Yeah, and see what happens.
Erika, what do you think?
Well, I think it probably has to do with security somehow, because if you already had sex with that person, you know that it did work, and then you feel secure enough. And what happens with porn sometimes, if you watch it a lot, it can kind of dehumanize people.
Women.
But men also, in a way, because
fair.
Women are treated like some kind of sex dolls, but men many times are treated like they're like this musculous, penetrative machines.
The curious part of it is this is a new thing. This is only in the past 6 months or so.
Now. Baby, you are becoming more mature.
Wow, that would be a thing, huh?
And you want a more serious connection to someone.
Yeah. Kate has something to say.
It kind of sounds like it's becoming like one-dimensional for you. Like it's no longer kind of like it's like empty calories right now. Porn is. So like you watch it and you're like, okay, it stimulates me, it's cool or whatever. But then when it comes to like actually being with someone, I feel like you've only had like the one-dimensional thing, like, oh, it's purely physical, or it's almost like a fantasy now. Like if the porn gets like more and more intricate and kind of a little bit abnormal, then how is real life going to compare?
Right. I agree with that. That's part of the detox.
I mean, it kind of sounds like wanting a little bit more. Like maybe you've seen all of that you could see from porn. You've seen that, and you're like, okay,
now what?
There's something more to this than just being physically aroused. There's something emotional, maybe, or there's something like you said, like with security. It could just be you might be entering a new part of your life.
Do you think that not watching porn though is gonna change anything?
I don't know. I'm no expert, but I think that it could also be like, it might be that you maybe with the people that you're like hooking up with, maybe introduce porn with like both of you, or like
watch porn together.
Real life porn. Make your own
better
porn.
Ethical
porn.
I'm gonna try it now.
But then also I hear this from a lot of men when I start talking to them about porn and the shitty porn that there's so much of online, and then I tell them to look at it and focus on this, and suddenly they say to me, Erika, now you kind of destroyed porn for me. I look at it and I only see her ugly face, like she's not happy. This is not great anymore, you know? So it's about awareness also somehow. When you are becoming aware of something, then you are changing your taste.
It takes a change. Imagine if you were to change one little thing that could totally redirect what you feel sexually. Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we go to our cell phones or computers or whatever, we go to our category and we scroll through our category that we know we like, and we go, okay, here's a different person that is doing the thing that I like, and we come to it, and it's become sort of like a chore.
Yeah. It's almost like how if you are to make something at home, like food at home, it might be really good from the restaurant or whatever, and you make it at home, it might not be the best right off the bat, but then you learn how to season it. I don't know if that works, but you
have to practice.
Yeah.
We have an audience question.
Yeah, I don't want to
We'll
yeah.
Whatever
You can cut this out if you
yeah.
want. You can cut this out.
What's your question?
But like on a macro level, with regard to what he's saying, a lot of like sexual things that like block you in your.
Can you hear Kate?
Yeah.
Like I was watching this video recently about people that are like sexually attracted to objects or to porn that is not realistic to have in real life. Do you think that watching different and more healthy porn is the answer, or like what is the answer to like a sexual thing that you crave in your head that might not be so realistic or appropriate for that matter? What's the best way to like think about it and circumvent it so that you can better suit yourself and your partner?
Well, I think that if it's a fetish that doesn't hurt other people, it's okay. But that's always the limit, right? You don't want to hurt other people. But when it comes to porn, it's also important to think about the ethical aspects of it.
Yeah.
It's like, how has it been produced? Who's behind it? Who's, making the porn that you are watching?
Because you know when women aren't enjoying it. You fucking know. And we've talked about this, Kate. We've talked about it where it's like, it doesn't feel like anyone's having fun.
It's interesting that both sides, like it feels like both sides want what the other side has been taught is normal. So like, I feel like it kind of sounds like from what we got just today, men are trying to understand how to make it more of a connection, how to have it be a little bit more than just sex, and women are trying to figure out how they could do their
and it's the opposite.
Yeah, well, because we already were able to learn how to have a connection with people, or that we're supposed to, or whatever. And guys are always like, no, you're just gotta fuck bitches and keep going. It's like, or you might want love too, maybe.
It's a crazy notion that.
Or connection, doesn't have to be love.
You have to feel something. Just there shouldn't be an end goal of coming. The same way that like sex isn't just about coming. Like sex can feel so good and you still don't have to fucking orgasm. It's about feeling something, and feeling is the root of all fucking how anyone experiences anything. But there's too much pressure, no pun intended, on coming for sex and porn.
Yeah, and many times it gets very technical because it's like, okay, so how do I do this? How do I make this happen? And then it's not about just the moment.
Good.
I was thinking about another thing, and that is that when you start to obsess about something because it didn't happen once, and then you start to obsess about it, and then you start blocking yourself.
Yeah.
And it keeps happening.
So this has become a thing now in like my group chat with my friends where we call it's called having the seed of doubt. And now you have the seed of doubt, and you have to figure out how to make the seed of doubt go away, because now it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right. Now it's just, it happened once, so it's just going to keep happening over and over and over.
Like foreplay. That just comes down to foreplay.
Not like a pizza delivery.
But also like a will they, won't
But
they.
actually, it is very true, because I mean, sex really, where does it start? I mean, it starts in
the
your
brain.
head. It's
Yeah.
your brain. It's your fantasy. It's your eroticism that connects you to your body, and then suddenly the body starts reacting, right? But you need that turn on. You need that thing that provokes you, that makes you, wanting more.
Foreplay is underrated is going to be the hashtag of this fucking episode.
And the mental foreplay, not just
mental foreplay.
mental
Oh my god!
Exactly.
If a guy or a chick were to whisper some shit into my ear, that would feel so much fucking better than a
Or even
physical
like a
touch.
look.
A
just a look.
sex situation.
A look, even a fucking look.
Yeah,
a look is what starts it.
I mean, a
Sometimes.
sex situation can start hours before the actual encounter. You know, today we have all these iPhones and smartphones, and you can send a message to someone. You can send a picture to someone. You can turn someone on before even getting into that moment.
Yeah.
One of the things that I work a lot with is cinematic films that are beautiful in design and in lighting and in the locations and the way we are dressing and doing the makeup of our characters, but also the narrative. Who are these people? Why are they coming together? Where does that passion comes from? What is their thing? I kind of want to know, that context to the sexual situation.
That's what you're missing, to be honest, anonymous user. The same way when you're watching like a movie and then you accidentally have to jerk off, where you're like, wait, I wasn't expecting this. Imagine that with porn, right? Like if you were surprised, because you know what's gonna happen with porn. He's gonna come probably on her face and everyone's done.
I think everyone just wants, overall, it seems like everyone just got pieces of a whole experience. Like, this piece is enjoyed by men. This piece is enjoyed by people like this. This piece is enjoyed by people like this. And I think what we're sort of coming around to is that everybody, in a way, craves their own full, well-rounded whole experience when it comes to just meeting.
You're very smart, and I say that all the fucking time.
When it comes to like meeting the people and like getting that excitement and being like, oh my God, do I want this person in bed? Like, what do I want to be with this person? I like their smell. I like the idea of it. To seeing how it actually comes to fruition, if it does. Like, there's so many. Emotions can play such a great part in it.
It
so
should.
I think that's what we're sort of getting down to.
It is part of a sexual situation. Emotions.
Yeah.
And that's not shown in porn.
No, the only point is penetration and coming, whereas there are so many other beautiful ways to feel great things and have these amazing moments and relationships.
Sometimes I come looking at flowers.
Kelsey, what?
I get turned on by what makes me feel good. It shouldn't always be sex. Yeah.
It's in the air.
Okay, Erika, this was an incredible conversation.
You're fantastic.
I hate to end this, but
I know.
Let's do more.
I know. Well, you're coming back. You're coming to LA in March. We're going to have you back on. But can you tell people where to follow you, where they can watch your shit? Because people need to watch your shit.
Watch my shit?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So if you want to watch my shit,
You will. And you do.
go to ErikaLust.com, Erika with a K, or you can go to XConfessions.com, where you can send your fantasy and maybe I'll make your film.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. My shoutouts are you at Trey Orgish, at Hoff Sarah, at Amy ST515, at Kelly K2117, at L Luca Slur.
At Petita _Gonzalez, at Soul Side Up, at Wall Brown F, and at Dude Ebro. Oh
Okay.
no, that would just be Dude.
Wow, guys, sorry about the sound. We're across the world from each other, but that's what happens when you record a podcast across the world. You can follow me at Kelsey Dara on all the things.
You can follow me at Kate Peterman on Instagram and at KAYTEPEA on Twitter.
Don't forget to rate this on iTunes. We jumped back up in the fucking thing last week.
Cool, this is a great, this might be my favorite episode.
I think so too. Is that weird?
No, it's not.
Okay,
love you all.
Love you.
Have fun.
Fucking.
Bye.
Bye.